Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to BookFlix Live, episode number 5. Ladies and gentlemen, in the previous two episodes, we have discussed with this very amazing personality called Joy King Birze. And we have discussed with him about some of the wonderful insights about this book called Life Without If. And today I'm very happy and excited to share with you that we are going to have again back the amazing personality called Mr. Sudipto Chaudhary. With Sudipto sir, we are going to discuss three very important chapters from this book, Life Without If. And without any further ado, let's welcome the amazing leader called Mr. Sudipto Chaudhary. Sudipto sir, welcome back again. Sir, in the previous two episodes, we really had some great moments while we were discussing with Mr. Joy King Birze. We have discussed a couple of chapters there, and our viewers have given amazing response because the amazing book Life Without If itself is very unique and very different, especially because of the fact that in this book what we have seen is that while this book has tremendous powerful proven strategies in this book to achieve success by design in life, the more beautiful part of this book is the way it has elaborated about how to implement those strategies in our lives. So that is the feedback which I'm getting from the readers. I'm really excited today to take this discussion forward. Before that, I would like to welcome you to BookFlix Live show series again back, sir.
Thank you, Brajan. It has always been pleasure talking to you, and especially here on the platform BookFlix Live. And I'm sure through you and your platform, we are reaching to many people, and we will try impact their life positively and help people live life meaningfully and better. So even one person after this show get benefited, I think we have done our job. So thank you for having me here.
Absolutely, sir. That's amazing. And sir, without any further ado, let me move to my first question for this episode number 5. Today, we are going to discuss chapter number 7, 8, and 9, sir. So I'll start with the first question of chapter number 7. Sir, what I come across most of the time is that I heard you often say that fear doesn't vanish. It gets redirected. For someone stuck in analysis paralysis or waiting for the perfect time, what practical steps can help them move from hesitation to execution without feeling reckless? Over to you, sir.
Brajan, you see, when you actually have a purpose clear, when one actually have a goal clear, when somebody's action is driven by a purpose and a goal, that is what he want to do and why he want to do, and if it is aligned with his ability or skill and competency to do, then I think the hesitation automatically vanishes. Hesitation actually finds its place when there is a confusion of the goal, purpose, or absence of it. So, that is the difference. So what is clearly important is knowing what you want to do, why you want to do, and can you do it? Do you have the right skill and competency in doing it? So that is between the fearful hesitation and fearless execution, what we this chapter talking about.
Break free from the if. Claim freedom from fear, doubt, and indecision. With Life Without If. What if? Take the leap. Trust your instinct. Believe in yourself. With Life Without If, The most dangerous prisons are not made of bars, but of ifs. Free your mind from the prisons of ifs with life without if. The silence of ifs. Let not these silent ifs kill your action. Delay your dreams or leave yourself in regret. Break free with life without if. What if you stopped waiting? Start designing your life with life without if. Break free from if and share the ifs you are leaving behind. Tag someone whom you think needs this. Join the Break Free From If movement with life without if, the end of wait. Get your meaningful independence from ifs.
So my suggestion and to the readers is, fear comes from the ignorance. So you should not, start doing something without knowing how and where, why of it. Okay, the moment you do how and why of it, try to do something, then the fear comes. Think about you are actually, driving a car. Okay, and we get a car and you just get into it and you drive whatever the car may be, whether it is a Mark, whether it is a BMW or Porsche. You will always be hesitant of driving it if you do not know where you want to drive, where you want to reach, where you want to go, because the whole path is not clear to you. So if the whole path is not clear to you, then you will always hesitate. But if the path is clear to you, then you will not. So my suggestion is, you first know, take a small step of doing it, keep learning, keep changing, and keep moving. Okay. In our cycle metaphor, that's what we say, all of us has tried cycling someday the first time, but, and we have fallen. But we have fallen only because we were a little afraid of paddling and moving forward. We didn't know. We are always, the fear of falling was so much in mind. We are trying to balance the cycle, but you didn't know that the balance only comes when you have a forward motion in it. Okay. So again, to summarize your question, between the, fear does not vanish, and fear actually vanished when you are clear about your what, how, and why. So if this is clear, then there is no place of fear. But otherwise, fear is always there, but fear will vanish when you know this 3W, how, why, and what.
Absolutely, sir. I'm sure our viewers are getting note of it. And I'm really excited to again move forward to the other questions. Prior to that, sir, it's so interesting and amazing to see the way this metaphor of cycling has been mentioned again and again. When you take the same example and in different concepts or different situations, to elaborate the concept which is being expressed in that particular situation, I think for our viewers or for the reader, it becomes so simple to understand, so easy to understand. And that's the beauty of this particular book, which I have seen, sir. Having said that, sir, let me move to...
Sorry to interrupt you. In fact, when you were designing the book, structuring the book, we said we do not want to be one more book which will just give some gyan and motivational talk and theory. We want something where anybody can relate. And what is that something? Which can be related in any part of the world, by any age, any gender, any caste. That's where our research, we found out the cycling is one metaphor which starts at a very early stage and it goes on till we are there. Okay, so people can relate much better. So that's where every part of the book, there is a cycling metaphor, which is people have experienced. Sometimes it is little hypothetical. which is backed by a real life example of famous people to validate that metaphor, and then followed by your own assessment, and then confirmed by my own life stories. So this is like hypothesis validation, checking with yourself, and then go and get confirmed. So all four level is there in the.
Absolutely, sir. It's so amazing, for somebody who never thought about it in his line. Cycling is just a simple activity which happens in our lives. But if you really look into it, so many facets of human behavior can be seen over there, and so many learnings can be taken, and so many great examples can be explained out of this simple activity called cycling. It's really amazing the way it has been looked into, sir. Let me come to my next question, sir. Sir, in this chapter, basically it is all about, I'm talking about chapter number 7. It is all about how we, transform from fearful hesitation to a fearful execution. This is what you have also started mentioning. Sir, I would like to request you, if you have any real life example in your life of this kind of situations that you have gone through. Is there any example in your life which you would like to share? I think it will make our viewers easier to understand if you can share some of your own experience from your life, sir.
Sure. Let me take you back to my Africa days. When I joined Airtel Africa as a managing director of Sierra Leone, okay, that country, beautiful small country, having a wonderful beaches, probably the best beaches in the world, and beautiful people. But unfortunately, within a couple of months of my joining, what struck that country, along with the two other countries nearby, Liberia and Guinea, was Ebola, a dreaded disease, hemorrhagic fever. And once it attacks somebody, it is between the death and the disease, it is only time. Unfortunately, when that country had a very weak health infrastructure to fight such disease, and the country is also very extremely porous and connected to Europe, and most of the people have somebody in Europe, and they do frequent travel. Okay, so the challenge for the world was that if that Ebola moves, not only affect that country, but if it moves, there was every possibility to move to Europe, then the whole world, it can actually get impacted. So I was there, and I was actually told by Airtel this thing that if you are not comfortable, all the expats, you can actually move out. Okay, and the condition was so fearful, we are all hesitant. We are all extreme level of hesitancy. Okay, so our family back home was worried. Our Airtel leadership was worried. The people in the country was worried, and we didn't know what to do. How to A, save ourselves. B, be with or not be with the people and the employees of Airtel, and take care of the operation, because at that time when everything was getting stopped, telecom was keeping it connected, and that's the time. If it is not there, then nobody in the country will actually pardon you further. And that's the thought, that's the trigger what came in my mind one night. Should I can't go back, I have to be here. The fear gone, vanished. Okay, though I said fear does not automatically vanish, it vanished because I found my purpose, and the purpose was very clear. It is, if not you, who? I am there. And if I am not there when Airtel needs me the most, then when? If I am as an MD is not being with my people, with the country now, then when? Then if I come back, and how will I come back? If I go back and for my safety and everything, how will you do that? Is that? So my purpose become very clear. I have to be here with my people, with my organization, and find a way to stay away from this dreaded disease, not only myself, but whole Airtel family, and as much possible help the country to get out of it. I was part of the president's core committee for uh, Ebola management, and then we after with the help of UNDP, WHO, everybody was there, and what we found out, this disease actually get contaminated only when you come in touch with a disease or diseased person, an infected person. It does not flow through air. It does not flow through food. It does not do only if you touch. That's when you get the disease, transmitted from one to other. And purpose being clear, we found then what? One of the meeting I still remember, I told the president, it is what we have to do is very simple. He said, what? There are so many people sitting, and Mr. Chaudhary, you are saying it is so simple. And what is that simple thing you are talking about? I said, avoid body contact. Well, everybody knows that. And yes, everybody knows that, but nobody does it. Okay, so how can I control so many millions of people and ensure that they do not, touch each other? I said, you don't have to control everybody. How many people, members of family you have? He said, 7. I said, can you control the 7? I have around 351 direct family member, which is my Airtel family, and around 1,200 people, which are the associates of Airtel family, which is Ericsson and others. I will ensure they do. And each one of their family, I will talk to and ensure that 3 or 4 or 5 family members, each one of them will ensure at least their first family do not get in touching moments, avoid body contact. So A, B, C become the mantra. And actually WHO publicized that A, B, C all through the hoardings, media, everywhere. Okay, and we said, I will ensure that nobody in Airtel family get this. And what are the symptoms? The symptom is, or the disease was fever, sneezing, diarrhea. So every morning, afternoon, and evening, this 1,261 people who are associated with Airtel employee, their associates, and their family, 1,261 people. I created a small SMS-based app and ensure they report 1,261 people what is their temperature exactly at 7 o'clock, at 2 o'clock, at 8 o'clock. As they come in contact, yes or no to anybody, as they got sneezing, diarrhea, yes or no. So this whole simple act, was we monitored thrice a day for all the 1,261 people. Okay, and believe me, Brojan, not a single guy in our organization got impacted or infected with Ebola. And that became the mantra all over this thing. And, we saved, not only we saved Airtel, its operation, we actually became the market leader that time for being in the forefront, having consumer franchise in our favor. So this, I think, is, a very, very fearful, hesitant moment. When the moment the trigger of purpose came in, that we have to be here and ensure everybody, it is my responsibility that whole purpose become clear, fear vanished. Fear become fearful. He left, and the fearlessness come in, and we executed it. And in 90 days' time, it took almost 2 years. But after 2 years, it is that 90 days we are out of. So that's what example I keep saying wherever I go for speaking. You know how fearful hesitation can convert it into a fearless execution only when you know what you want to do, why you want to do, and how you want. That's your purpose is clear. You exactly driven by your purpose and goal and your emotion. Then everything falls in place. सारे कायनात आपके साथ होता है जब आपको पता होता है कि आप करना क्या चाहते हो और क्यों करना चाहते हो.
What if I fail and lose everything? I was afraid of till I read Life Without If. And now I manage my wealth by design.
Very true, sir. I think why is so important, and the way you have shared this example from your life, it is so amazing because anybody would have given up when the question of threat to life arises in anybody's life in any situation. In your case, it was very, very clearly you were able to see people dying out of that particular epidemic, which has been spread across that particular country. However, I would say you have found your why. I think this why also came from the place that you would like to contribute to people, you would like to contribute to your team. When the question of team comes, I think you never went back. This is what I have experienced from our working together experience as well, sir. I really admire your leadership quality in that line. And in this situation as well, you have actually led by example. You have shown that you care for your team. In that moment, it is not your own life, personal life. It is not even the business to be taken care. In that moment, the lives of those colleagues, those people in that particular country, the citizens of the country, is more important. And you have joined hand with the leadership of that country, with the other organizations, and you have set an example. So amazing to see this, name called ABC, avoid body contact. It's amazing. I think that was the crux. That was the secret of success of navigating through that ferocious, life-taking, I would say, epidemic, which was actually taking so many lives during the time. And actually, the same has been turned around and people were able to navigate through it. And you have been appreciated by the leadership of that country for that also. I think that really a very well-deserved appreciation, sir.
Right.
Sir, let me move ahead. Let me come to the next chapter, chapter number 8. I have personally gone through this particular chapter. In this chapter, you mentioned about how people has the behavior of trapped in the past or stuck in the past. And in everybody's life, this behavior comes out more often. And this is one problem, one negative behavior. I would say negative, if I have to say, as per the terms used in your book. Because of this negative behavior, I would say, people cannot move ahead in their lives. People cannot achieve success. Maybe, this is something which is so critical. And it's a pattern which we see in everybody's life. So in this book, you have dealt in depth about this particular human behavior. And I would request you to please share for our viewers, like how we can recognize or identify this particular pattern of getting stuck in the past in advance.
Getting stuck in the past. Okay. If you just think, let me just give you an example. While I have given an example of different real life story in the book, I don't want to repeat. Let readers come and read and learn from that. Let me give you a very strong example. A Kodak. everybody has used Kodak in the, in our generation, may not be the next generation. They know the name Kodak as a, which were the master of photography, Akpa, Kodak. Whenever I used to go, there was a festival or event at home, or you go for a vacation, you buy a roll of film and you used to click photographs and come back and print those photographs. But the technology came in, and the whole photography industry was getting digitized. But Kodak leadership and the Kodak as a company, or the Agfa leadership and Agfa as a company, did not embrace it. They get stuck in the past. We are the king of photography. We are the master of photography. Digital photography, it has come, it will go. They completely failed because they were stuck in their past glory, past experience, past consumer behavior. They were ignoring consumer is changing, technology is changing, the market is changing. What happened? Product is gone, vanished. Okay, so being stuck in the past happens very, very easily with many people. In our real life situation, just think, a student, we have seen in the school, there are three kind of a student. One kind of a student is always good. They are the toppers. And they were toppers all through class, junior class to the senior class. So they were very clear about their purpose. They were always learning. They were always moving. There was one set of students who were never good, never into the studies. So that is another character. I'm not saying good, bad, ugly. That's a different thing. But they always were in the last quadrant. For, whatever their reason, okay, they were always, because maybe they were not so much interested or driven or clear about their purpose, so they were not. But there was always in the middle somebody who were actually, sometime moving into the top quadrant, sometime moving into the, bottom quadrant. Now, let me leave first two and actually talk about this, the last quadrant guys, who are the most interesting guys. And I was one of them. Okay. I was always thinking about, study is not my cup of. Every time I tried, I failed. I failed. I never liked it. I'll not be able to do it. And I really didn't do it in my studies, in my schools, in my colleges. Okay, I was never, though I was very, very intelligent guy. Okay, but I was stuck off past. Last time I didn't do well. Last to last time I didn't do well. Last to last time I didn't do well. And that stucking into past never allowed me to move forward. Same me, when I actually came into the profession, I actually left study and came into this profession so that I don't have to study. And the curricular way of learning is not my cup of tea. To get rid of that, I came in. My father actually said, I am leaving my son. Don't come back. You do. In our family, you are not from our family. Whatever. That's a different story.
You mentioned a Bengali term of that. Something.
Yeah, it is a. আমি তোমাকে ত্যায্য পুত্র করে দিলাম. That means मैं तुमको त्याग रहा हूं. Okay, but that word actually triggered me. How can my father leave me, or how can I leave my father, or how can I make him so unhappy, so much worried about me that he leaves me. This is what a son should not do. And I found my purpose. Okay. Again, from not stucking, that from that moment, I was never getting stuck to the past of failures. I try to find a way of success. How I can find a success. Then I start asking myself, okay, you don't like study, but you are intelligent. What have you done well? So I try to find out, note down what is that the good thing I have done and list it down. These are my skills. I'm a good organizer. I'm a good, probably I can mix up with people. I can network with people. I can converse with people. I can learn fast, but not in a curricular way because I haven't focused on it. So these are my skills. So with this, what can I do to get a success which will make my father proud one day? Then in the profession, I said, I joined a sales job, and sales job, well, fortunately, it was a sales job because the sales job requires all these skills: conversing, good conversation, good networking, good, quick learning. And I was very clear and focused. And I have, instead of being stuck in the past failure, I started taking small steps, and which I say, do, learn, adjust, move on. Not that from the beginning I got a success. I tried, I did something small objective, but try that once you get a small objective made, then if you fail, learn why you failed, adjust what to be the mistake, and move. So once you start getting small success with multiple small success become a big success, multiple big success become bigger success, and nothing succeeds like success. Very simple. Then you become energized from inside for getting into the next success. But you need your purpose. Again, my purpose was very clear. I want to make my father proud that what you are saying is I'm not as bad. I will come back and I will make you proud. So I was so much driven that I slept in the platform. I did work, probably 13, 14, 15 hours a day. But I'm not stuck in the past, but moving ahead. Small but sure steps. Small but sure step, and repeat. And that's where, after that, from a mere salesman, I become the MD of Airtel. So that's what my journey is. I think that's where, again, I say that what drives this is knowing your purpose. And what drives this to do what you can do. Don't try to do what you cannot do. What I was trying to do it in, curricular study, okay, which was not encouraging me. So find what you can do, what you love doing, and if it is aligned, set up purpose which is aligned to it, then nothing can stop it. And take small steps, learn, adjust, move on, repeat. Take small steps, learn, adjust, repeat. So small success making the big success. That's what.
What if my partner stops respecting me? I was anxious about, till I read Life Without If, and now I respect my companionship by design.
Thank you for sharing your, real life stories, sir. I think so. What I have, understood, if I have to just summarize for our viewers, is that getting stuck in the past situation which is not working. If we continue doing that, we get victim of that situation which is not working in our life. Instead of doing that, instead of continuing to try which is not working or which I am not good at, try and look at the thing that I can do. And there basically having a why, having a purpose is very, very important. Otherwise, it will not drive you on whatever you do from within. If you have a purpose, it will drive from within. And then what you do is you do or you try, and then you learn and move ahead. And that's how you can progress from a situation wherein you were stuck in the past. I think to our viewers, I would like to again say that this is the beauty of this platform called BookFlix Life, and we are discussing here the Amazon bestseller book Life Without If. I think this is where we are having the successful people, the successful authors, sitting here on this stage. They're sharing about those real life examples, the real life success stories, from where we are finding those strategies, where we are finding those proven tricks which has actually worked in their lives, and they have been able to succeed after implementation of those tricks. Thank you, Sudipto sir. Let me come to the next question. My next question is, sir, in this chapter number 8, one very, very interesting thing which I have come across is, innovation as a mindset. So when I talk about innovation, basically, sir, we have the habit of, again, not embracing discomfort, because innovation is all about changing, leaving behind what was there and picking up something new, which always will be to some extent uncomfortable, maybe, because it is something like we are moving into a unfamiliar territory. Basically, I am picking up something which is not so familiar to me. So I'm going to get into a situation wherein I'll face some level of discomfort. At times, if it doesn't work, it becomes really, really uncomfortable, discouraging also. So here, very interesting part is, innovation nowadays is more about technology. Technological evolution is what we see as innovation in our works, in our life. Innovation is all about employing the technological evolution or leveraging that. And again, it is not easy, because we need to get into a phase of learning it, experimenting it, whether it works or not in our life. And here, very interesting term which you are using is innovation as a concept, innovation as a mindset. I'd like to hear from you, sir, just to, if you can elaborate a little bit on this.
Innovation is a word which is, people think, in our mind we think it is something, it's like very difficult, very large, very big, and kind of a, and moment we start thinking like that, you become fearful. You stop, it is like something, but innovation is not that difficult. Innovation as a mindset, is only finding, it is nothing, doing something new, something great, something what people have never thought of. Innovation is as simple as doing maybe the same thing in a different way. Innovation is something which is trying what you have not tried doing ever. Innovation is as simple as that. Okay. Yes. Is innovation only that much? No. But whether it is let me take an example of current days, the most used word or the innovation is AI. What is AI? Okay. AI is an innovation over Google, okay, for which is there for years. Okay. And what is Google? Probably Google was a modern software version of simple libraries where books were kept, all the knowledge were kept, all the information were kept, but you have to go through a physical searching of information. From physical searching of information, what Google did is a virtual searching of. And now virtual searching of information with a mathematical algorithm, okay, what is the, AI, where you can actually not only search, you can also do whatever you want to do. Okay, so it is a search. You tell anybody the system to do something for you, then it search and then deliver what you want him to do. If you can clearly tell him what to do. Okay, so that is a huge innovation from physical information to virtual information to processing virtual information into different ways. Okay, now, but that can only happen or can be done by the people who are ready to think in different ways, who has a courage to find a way to do the same thing in different way. Okay, let me give you an example. Which I followed in my life is the kitchen. Okay, I sometimes just I don't decide what to cook. I just get into the kitchen, open the fridge, and whatever is available, whenever I cook, I ensure I cook something good out of whatever is available. Not that I find a recipe and get the ingredient and repeat the same recipe. No. My way of innovation and having an inculcating innovation in my behavior is get into the kitchen, open the fridge, and see what is available and cook something out of whatever is available. That's my way of inculcating innovation. Okay, thing. So it's very easy. I don't do something like AI, but you go. Sometimes you go and find there is nothing but few potatoes are living. That's fine. How can you make something out of only potato? Even if there is no salt, how can you cook something where you don't need the salt of what you're doing? That's innovation, isn't it? So every time you don't get restricted by the resource, by the recipes, by the written way or practice and the habit. You find your way of doing something, and that's what is special. And that's what the innovation as a behavior. Okay, what we do not want to do. You will see when you enter house, even that house has three entrance door, you only follow one. That becomes a habit. इससे ही जाना है. Why, bhai? Why not try sometime the other door? If you see, you will in your room, if there are three lights, you only use one most of the time. Why not the other light? All those are, something, if you by design consciously, continuously start doing something what is available, and every time a new thing, if it is your change the pen, change the sitting place, change the something, where you write, change where you eat, then you will actually not only just changing that, you are actually bringing in being comfortable of doing new things, doing things in a newer way, and slowly once you are comfortable of doing new things and doing the same thing in newer way, then your mind will also open up, and then you can start thinking big innovation. You are not afraid or fearful of trying large new things, big new things. That's where the ABC came in. If you are, only stuck with the fear, in that country, everybody when you meet, they hug. If you continue to hug, the whole country would have died. And what we said, ABC, avoid body contact, don't hug, forget kissing. Okay, so that was a big thing, but it was a simple thing. Just if you want to leave, don't touch. Give the purpose. Okay, it was difficult, but monitor them. One president cannot monitor lakhs of people, but you can monitor your 3 people. So small thing, learn, adjust, move on. That's what is innovation is also first in your behavior, small things. Try new things, small one, or try small things in a new way, and then slowly you will find you are not afraid of trying new things and trying. You will be innovating lot of things very easily, automatically, habitually.
Unlock the power of life without if. In Life Without If, we dive into powerful concepts that reshape the way we think and live. Role of if, a small word with a huge impact. It can free you or trap you. Dual nature of if can spark dreams or feed doubts you choose. Living by design, create a life that reflects your true values. By choice, not by chance. Behavioral continuum. Every action lies on a spectrum. Awareness moves you closer to your best self. Intent versus actualization. Bridge the gap between dreams and reality with clarity and action. Chowking's success model. Redefine success as inner fulfillment, not just outer achievements. Amplify positive ifs. Turn what if I fail into what if I fly. Minimize negative ifs. Break free from limiting beliefs and step into possibility. And versus or, life isn't about choosing either or. It's about embracing both and. Frenemism. Collaborate even with rivals to spark growth and innovation. Get ready to think bigger, act braver, and live with purpose.
It's so beautiful. All those concepts we have discussed, ifs we have discussed, the behaviors we have discussed in the past. I think we are able to connect the dots now. It's so amazing. You bring down all those concepts in a very, very simple story, practical, real life story, and correlate and get the learnings out of it. What I have, actually gathered here is innovation we should not look at as a big thing, one big thing that we need to do. It is all about starting small. It is all about looking at the available resources and then start doing the innovation as a habit, starting small. And then the habit comes up. And if the habit comes up, the mindset is automatically formed. And if the mindset of innovation is something which has been registered in my DNA, one fine day you never know, there may be a big resource which may come across in your life or in your journey. In that moment, maybe you can grab that opportunity of utilizing that big resource and do a bigger scale of innovation. But we should not wait for that kind of a big resource to come in our way to start innovating in our life. I think innovation as a habit, innovation as a mindset, that's the mindset.
Rajin,
That's the way I think.
You have actually touched a very, very big point. In my book, I have written the story of Wright brothers. Okay. Wright brothers, when they tried to create a flying machine, what they first did, watched the birds and created, wings for them, tied in their, the thing, back. And with the hand of this, they tried to, move the wings, and they jumped out of the hill, tried to fly. They broke their innumerable bones. Okay, they started small. They didn't look at a huge resources now, which other innovators were trying to find out to create a flying machine. But they started just a bird's wing. Then they found that bird's wing, then they, it requires this, it requires a small pieces they added onto it. And finally, the first flying machine which they created was made out of cycle, chains, motors, wings of leather and wood, which is far from what we fly today in the Boeing or Airbuses or the jets. But start was so small and repeated, And if they didn't have done it, we would have not got into the jets of today. So you start small and don't wait for the resource to come. There is resources abundance. It is available. It will follow if you have a purpose which is proven. It will find your way. Yeah. Over to you. Sorry.
Absolutely, sir. I think a lot of us, we live in someday island. Someday I will find this, then I will start this. Someday I will get this, then I will start innovating. Someday I get some good amount of time and the situation, then I'll start writing my book, which was the case in my life as well at some moment in time. I think we should not live in that someday island. We should look at now and start small, looking at the available resources, and then build this habit of innovation with whatever I have from now on. Start small, then build the habit and build the mindset. And then one day, you never know, you will get a great opportunity to have a big resource, utilize it and do something bigger on that day. But make sure that you are developing this mindset of innovation. I think for our viewers, I think it's a fantastic opportunity to learn all these powerful ideas, powerful strategies, which are proven. Sir, let me come to my next question. The next question is like, you describe resilience as not the absence of struggle, but the ability to rise through it. In your journey or from your observations, sir, what differentiates between a person who breaks under pressure from those people who bounce back, and when they bounce back even stronger? Over to you, sir.
Let me go back to the title of my book, Life Without If. And if you see the book, out is striked off. So when we were discussing, we found the life itself. We first decided the title will be Life Without If. Bina Kash Bina Zindagi. Live life without if. But we found the if sits in the center of life itself. You can't even spell life without if. Forget living. That's where we decided to strike out the out. So if is part of the life. Don't avoid if. We are not saying that you will not have any ifs in life. We are saying there will be life with if, but know your ifs. If it is a negative if, try to minimize it. If it is a positive if, try to emphasize it. And then you will have your own life of it. And resilience, as you said, it is not an absence of struggle. And if you are looking for a life without struggle, then you are actually moving away from life, living. Life is all about struggle. When you were an infant, okay, even to explain I am hungry, you have to cry, a struggle. The mother, the new mother, has to understand when the baby is crying, is he or she hungry, or is he or she having a stomach pain, a struggle. When you grow up, you first have your, first time you try to stand up, you fall, a struggle. Again, when you start again try to stand up, you fall, but you one day stand up. The struggle never leaves you. Then you get into study, then you somebody finds it easy, somebody like me struggles, okay, and then you do get into your job. You to find a job, there is a struggle. In doing the job, there is a struggle. So life is all about struggle. People think that how can I live without struggle? So don't try to. If you are looking for a struggleless life, there is no life. Okay. Very recently, we have India women's team has won the World Cup. Okay, and one of the member, Richa Ghosh, is from Bengal, and and one from your northeast, Umar Chetri, both come from a very, very, you know, mediocre family, and they have always struggled to have even a bat, but they struggle. What is then resilience? Resilience is explaining by crying that I am hungry. Your ability to get out of your struggle. It is not problem of failing in struggle. You are hungry. You are not being able to explain, but you are crying and making your mother explain that I am hungry. The moment you get the feed, you are successful. Resilience is not being afraid of falling, but falling and standing. After multiple fall, you learn standing. After multiple fall, you start walking. That's what resilience is. Resilience is not about not struggling. Resilience is how fast and how effectively you fall, you struggle, but you come back. So resilience is as simple as that. And it again, I will connect. If you have a purpose, like the purpose of hunger for the baby, purpose of the kid to stand up, walk like his father or mother or brother, the purpose of Sudipta Chaudhary to come out of Ebola, okay? Purpose, when your purpose is clear, you will find a way to rise up. But if you do not have a purpose, you will find a way to fall. So what is important is to keep your what's in mind very clear. Then you will find a way to come back, and a resilient life much easier and much better.
Unlock the power of life without if. In Life Without If, we dive into powerful concepts that reshape the way we think and live. Frenemism. Collaborate even with rivals to spark growth and innovation. Get ready to think bigger, act braver, and live with purpose.
Thank you very much, sir. I think it's so wonderful to have this conversation, and I wish we keep continuing this conversation, but the time is limited. So let me come to today's concluding question, sir. The question is like, many of us recover from setbacks, but rarely, people grow from them. So they are able to recover, but they are not able to maybe move forward significantly ahead. So in your chapter, how do you define resilience? Is it about endurance, adaptation, or re-innovation? So I would like to request you to elaborate a little bit on this part.
Okay, yes. There is, everybody is resilient in some way or other. And I personally feel the unsuccessful people probably are more resilient than successful people. Think about an old pavement dweller's life who sleeps without roof, many times without proper clothes, many nights without proper food. But next morning he wakes up, monsoon or summer, he manages, night or day, he finds his way. Which probably people like us or rich people or middle income group people, they don't have that struggle. So they are much lesser resilient. They can manage their life much lesser. So it's resilience and success are related, but everybody is actually resilient. Now, the point is, coming back to your question, is resilience is only managing your life somehow, or is resilience is making a meaningful, successful life? That is the difference between an ordinary and extraordinary. Okay, I took the example of J.K. Rowling story. Okay, and she had this story in mind: habit of writing, want of writing. Okay, for all through her life, but she didn't have the uh, probably the abundance of resource or challenge. She had a challenge of resource, time. Life was not easy for her. She used to find from the daily chores, difficult to find time. Go to a cafe, write whatever time she used to get. Okay, but her resilience was so much, she never gave up. Many people rejected her book. It took years for Harry Potter to become Harry Potter, but she never lost in her mind. So I say resilience is here, not here. Okay? It is in your mind that was your winning attitude. It is your mind of being unstoppable. It is your mind to do something. It is not in your strength or your resources or abundance of that. It is the purpose. Purpose, if it is clear, if your purpose is aligned with the right skill and competency, and then these two are wonderful combination where even if you fail, you will come up, you will find your energy and inspiration to come back. And that's where, you will not leave, will become unstoppable. So, going back where I started, the poor people don't probably lose their purpose. Their purpose is only somehow living. That somehow living, they are living. They are also resilient. Some people are rich, but they are also somehow living. They are adopted to that kind of a living. But there are some people, rich or poor, male or woman, they find their way become J.K. Rowling Stone. They find their way to become Wright brothers. They found their way to become Malala Yousafzai. Okay, so that's what the resilience is. When your purpose is clear, you know what you want to do, you know how you want to do, and you know you can do, then you will fall, but come back by yourself. You will fall, but you will be inspired by yourself to come up. You will fall, but your success, your own purpose will drive you forward. That's what I believe. The resilience, and that's what make people the difference of ordinary and extraordinary, default life and meaningful. Thank you.
Absolutely, Sudipto sir. I have seen a very powerful, explanation out here, because why I'm saying is that many of us, our viewers, readers, would not have thought in the way you have explained about the old person living on the roadside. For example, why I'm saying so is that, it is about seeing the same thing with different lens. I think the lens with which a person is seeing at a particular thing makes that particular person different from the other person who is seeing that particular situation with his own way of looking at, with the kind of lens he is looking at. Many of our viewers would never have heard that living on the roadside in that difficult condition requires more resilience than a person who have been successful, who is living a rich, happy life. However, we say that, the person who is living a rich life today, successful life, would have shown the behavior of being resilient in some moment in time, but that person would have done it in a smart way, or in time, or if I may say in advance, with some proven strategy. I think that is what matters. This is really a bulb on moment, maybe aha moment for many people, if I can say so, because nobody would have looked at this very point that you are explaining, saying that the person living on that particular condition, that harsh condition on the roadside, it requires more resilience. So resilience is something which is required in every situation in our lives, but it's better, if I may say so, it's better to demonstrate that behavior in time, in advance, in a smarter way, and utilize some proven methods, proven strategies, which can only happen if we learn to, if we learn those strategies. I think this is all about BookFlix Life. This is the platform where you get to learn all those proven strategies, frameworks to succeed by design in life. Thank you, Sudipto sir. Basically, I wish that we can continue this discussion over and over again and again. However, since the time is limited for our today's episode, which is episode number 5, we'll have to conclude here. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time. And thank you so much for sharing all those real life stories from your life, and also referring to those important learnings from those situations. And we will definitely meet again in the next episode. However, I would like to thank you for sharing your beautiful insights and those elements. And thank you for your time, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. All the best. Let's live life without it.
Thank you, sir. See you soon.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our today's episode, which is episode number 5 of BookFlix Life. I'd like to thank you for your love and support towards our show, BookFlix Live show series. We will meet again on coming Sunday at 11 a.m. on our show, which will be episode number 7. Until then, stay joyful, stay happy, stay healthy. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.